Okay, I think it's Wednesday, January 4th, 2023. It's pretty quiet at my work right now, so I'm taking advantage of some downtime to get out and start my training. Watching this car. Okay. Yeah, I got a little bit of weight to ride off, so it's pretty burly. It's pretty cold out still. Shouldn't really be out, but what the fuck. It's a local route. So there's quite a few cars. The lanes are a little wide, so cyclists are safest when people can get around us. So it's all good. But yeah, it's good to be out on the road a little bit. I've done a fair bit of commuter kind of shopping riding, but I'm going to call this a training ride, even though I'm not really pushing. There we go, saw that guy. Just spinning through the hood. I don't need to blow my knee out in fucking January, so just taking her easy. Okay, hopefully I can get you some trail. I'll check you in a bit. It's going to be a short ride. My fingers are already cold. Some dirtbag took my riding gloves. I had long finger gloves. Almost neoprene. They were kind of old school, but that's what works out here on the coast. Yeah, this is why I stick to these local loops. Yeah, my computer's totally down, so it's dead batteries. No worries. I'll talk to the GoPro. This will be my proof. Yeah, even in January, this is a pretty safe route. Being pretty cautious this year, though. Again, I don't know, man. I tend to relax and get too chatty on these rides. But I honestly don't have any friends in real life. And anybody that went through the pandemic alone and have kept their shit together, like I think I have for most of it. For the most part. It's been tough not having a partner to really cover half the bills, you know, like fuck. Living in the Vancouver area alone. It's pretty brutal. So kudos to my fellow bachelors and bachelorettes. Good job if you've made it this far. But I have had to make a couple of goals. So, including ride no hand for. I got a couple of goals this year, so I'm looking for a lady friend that would like to teach me how to ride a motorcycle. I made some promises to my dad to do that, you know. Of course, I thought I had plenty of time, but now I'm in my early 50s. Having covered probably enough miles on a pedal bike to cross the country. Haven't really been on a motorcycle as a driver since I was in my teens, so yeah, kind of a little rusty. And I'm told the testing setup that they do here in Vancouver area isn't particularly crazy hard, but just by nature of our roads, you've got to bring your A game. Like I know because I ride out here on a bike, right? I'm often getting tailgaters giving me shit. that's part of the adventure. If it wasn't a little dangerous, I probably wouldn't want to do it, to be honest. So, but I've been around bikes, like motorcycles, a lot, enough to know that as a younger man, I didn't really have the discipline to always be safe. So now that I've survived a lifetime of doing dangerous things for money, I think I could probably handle a motorcycle quite happily. Mostly on the weekends. I'm not really into commuting with it, not yet. You know, if I work part-time, sure. So maybe when I retire, yeah, I'll just be that dude that shows up for 2 days a week. You know, I'd love that. Unlike so many of my compatriots who fucking work until they, you know, hit the deck. So I'd like to get a few easy years. You know, a few years of riding the no hands down a hill. Okay. Right. Anybody that's watched any of my videos knows that part of the route is a little scary to pick up a bit of speed here. I see a dog walker already. Okay, yeah, both these people have earbuds. Tally-ho. Nice to have a speedo, but I'm probably doing 40k. Nice little section. This is a lovely downhill. Ooh, baby. Okay, one of the issues I'm having with having just the L, and I haven't passed the parking lot test yet, because I don't have a vehicle, like a bike to ride or practice on. So I need actually a supervisor to help me get a bike home. You know, or even let me take me out and let me test ride a couple with them there, right? It's the only legally way I can do it right now. And it's still too cold out for the... I have a test booked in the future, but fuck, I've got some time. I could probably get a bike home and just practice instead of taking a course. But I don't know, you can book a course, like a 2-hour thing, and then they loan you a bike to do your test. And then I could actually go shopping and ride the bike home. Like with literally zero experience, which is scary, but whatever. I guess they figure if you get it down the road the first couple blocks, you'll probably make it. Like, you do know how to shift. So, yeah. Bikes are hard enough that, yeah, if you could actually get that thing rolling, chances are you got to figure it out, okay? So, but yeah, as a newbie, it'll just be like my bike riding, where I pick a couple local routes and, you know, stick to a plan. Like I said, I'm not putting myself in rush hour commuter traffic for a while. Which way am I going? I'm going to try the easy gravel route home with the expectation that I will have to bail and come back out. But there might be a chance there's not so much water that it floods down there this time of year. So I'll try it. It's pretty... There's another area, gravel area behind me, watershed. Awesome. So... yeah, this is a totally random day off. It's just slow at work. I'm taking advantage of it fully to start working off some winter flab. And I do hope to keep a training regimen a little more, a few more miles this year than last year. But I have to get out and do some archery and do some of the stuff I used to do, right? And that all requires a vehicle of some kind. And I think until I'm 55, I think I can make do with just a, you know, shitty old motorcycle, basically. as long as it's not, you know, the full dresser, which I can't ride, I'm too new. But yeah, a nice light beginner bike, good on gas, insurance is probably decent, so yeah, I need to cut costs. And I don't really need a vehicle during the week yet. I mean, I will, but maybe not right now. Ooh. Just leaving the camera going a little bit so people can see where I had a couple, I don't have a lot of followers, but I had a couple local people ask me like how to get on this trail. So, because most of the stuff I do is me bombing down something you shouldn't be on a gravel bike, to be honest. But anyone who knows me knows how fucking stubborn I am. And the fact that I can't admit that I'm getting old. Like, I still behave like a 20-year-old. It's ridiculous. So here we are. This is so far so good, but it drops down in elevation a little bit down into the bog. The edge of, I'm right along the edge of the Burns bog. That's why it's always so wet in here. And there's a train track on my right. I don't know if I've ever seen a train in there, but they don't want you in there, so don't go in there. Okay, we're bombing down here. I've got my tires a little hard for this, so I am going to just take it easy. I'm up to road, I wanted a good, ooh, it's wet here. Okay, full disclosure, I might not make it through here. But we'll see how bad it is. January, here I am. We've only been about a week without snow. But this is why I live in Vancouver. The warmest, here in Victoria, the warmest city in the area. I'll leave the camera going just in case this dog takes me off my bike. Well, so far so good. It is nice in here if I can get through. It's not a hard ride at all. Anybody can do this. So yeah, first ride of the new year outside. Feels good. I really got into sloth mode there for a couple weeks, Christmas. But I generally don't take a vacation during the year, so Christmas off, our downtime is usually really good for me. Hello, you got your hands full today. Yeah, I've been a whole year without a vehicle. This is it. I got a couple old bikes. This is the best bike I own right now. The Cannondale Topstone 4, first generation. Simple. Hopefully you can find them used now. They had trouble getting them to the line because they were produced during the pandemic. Like they had trouble getting them to the retail stores. parking the bike, no problemo. Just to get around the worst of it. You have to post a sign because people will try to ride it and fall down and get hurt. And, you know, cause a rescue way back here. Learn the hard way in difficult terrain like that. Just get off the bike, you know, like seriously, dude. Can't really risk a fall way down here. Pretty good break before starting this long climb, so kind of stretched to call this a training ride because I'm kind of really taking it easy, taking breaks for selfies. But yeah, it's a good day for this. It's only about 10 degrees, 9 degrees out Celsius. Local people will realize I'm heading up the hill on Nordell in North Delta. North Delta, yo. I lived here, almost 4 years now. I'm in my 4th year living in North Delta. Probably blabbed about it in other YouTube videos, but it's be a miracle if I could retire here. I got a long way to go. Oh. Oh. Ah. Yeah, I'm 53, so fuck. Only way I could really retire properly would be to do my little Canada pension at 60. But I want to retire at 55. Or like, we call it retire. I want to call it like work part-time maybe, like just make a little bit of money and have a roommate cover the other half of my mortgage. But at my age, living with a roommate is kind of like, oh man, nobody wants to live with a grumpy old man. Oh look, cigarettes and a lighter. At 53, I probably just gave that guy a heart attack. It looked like I was going to go right off the curb. I wasn't, but he didn't know that. What was I saying? Fuck. At 53, I can honestly say I've never had a cigarette. I've always hated it. That comes from having parents who smoked when we were kids. Those of you who know me know that I, as a partially handicapped guy with a bilateral cleft palate as a child, it's a birth defect caused by a couple of chemicals that were in the common in birth control pills back then. It does happen naturally sometimes, but usually only the single. When a woman, I guess, either doesn't have enough of that particular hormone that triggers that whole closure procedure. Whew. But yeah, just, you know, got dealt a bad hand there. I did the best I could. Not everyone can be a fucking supermodel. But I somehow made it to 53 without ever doing cigarettes, because I'm not into that. Oh, hey, pair of broken sunglasses. It's really reassuring going up this hill and you see like random car parks where people couldn't drive like up a hill without hitting somebody. Well, yeah, I got to get out of the type of work I do is quite dangerous. So I'd love to win the lottery. Basically, that's what it takes to survive in Vancouver. But I don't know, man. One day at a time. Hopefully, if I get some sort of two-wheeled transportation going, either a bike or a scooter, I can kind of get out of the city on weekends and not go fucking crazy this summer.